Yeah, I started to be interested in architecture and design when I was 14 years old, which is pretty early in life. And then I would start to look at architectural magazines, and then eventually I went to School of Architecture too, you know. But one of the things I learned very early is that an architect should be able to design anything from the spoon to the city. That was a famous phrase by Adolf Loos, a Viennese architect, you know, at the turn of the century, the other century. and, uh, and I was fascinated by that idea, and then I've seen it that is true, and great architects like Loos and Hoffman from Vienna, again, were doing these kind of things. And since I was born and raised in Milan, architects in Milan, they were also doing all kind of things, you know. They were designing buildings and furniture and interiors and exhibitions and so on. Then I shared an apartment with Max Huber, a famous graphic designer from Switzerland. And so I learned graphic design, and I got full in love with graphic design. And so I was doing the whole thing again, from graphics to architecture. So I built a house at one point for a client, and then I did the exhibitions, and then I started to do products, and you know, so that's the way I started. And I like it to try all the time at that time, try different materials, different experiences. I was eager to try all kind of things, you know. And I suppose that attitude hasn't left me after a long, long life of design, anyhow, you know. So that's how I got interested in architecture and design. And naturally, since I was very curious about the protagonist of the modern movement in Europe at the time, by the time I got to at the University of Architecture, that means about 20 years old, I already met personally all the major architects in Europe, from Le Corbusier to you name it, all the others, you know, and country by country, and which was very exciting. You know, I was kind of a groupie, you will say, you know, and of course I was reading all the books about them and about what I had to say. And that gave me the critical strength or the critical background, you know, to approach architecture and design.